Did you know that happy employees, according to the study, are 12% more productive than their unhappy counterparts? See? Next is increased turnover. Of course, if you're not happy in your organization because you don't feel accepted, chances are employees would resign from the organization or transfer workplaces. 58% of employees actually leave their jobs because they don't, not because they don't like their job, but because they feel unappreciated. And oftentimes, we lose good talents in an organization because we don't know how to take care of them. Right? Yes. Now there is. Yes. And then, higher absenteeism. Employees who reported high levels of workplace incivility are more likely to be absent from work. Another is that negative impact on customer service, similar to burnout. I mean, for secretaries, we should be good on customer service, right? Our faces should always be pleasant. We need to talk to them in a nice way. But then again, if there is not good relationship in the workplace, it's difficult. Pastors come to the office and will say, "Mom, may I have this? May I have this?" I don't want to talk. Do you do that? So there's negative impact on customer service. There are legal risks involved also. And you know we pay high for legal risk. Harassment claims increased by 50% from 2017 to 2023, according to the recent statistics on legal risks on harassment. And there's negative impact on innovation. The Journal of Organizational Behavioral Study says that because individuals in an organization don't feel welcome, they don't feel accepted, they would not participate, or they would not want to offer more than what they can offer. So creativity is hampered. So there's no innovation. They'll say, anyway, I don't feel I belong here, so why should I put my mind into the work? So there's negative impact on innovation. Now, why should an employee personally strive to maintain good relationship with others? Why is it needed for you to have good relationships with others? Well, for me, the most practical reason is that because eventually, your peers will evaluate you. Right? I don't know if you do 360-degree performance evaluation, and part of the performance evaluation is peer evaluation. So, of course, you need certain percentage where your peers should be able to evaluate you in a nice way. That's the practical reason, but the more personal and the more important reasons are this. Number one is that it lessens the risk for burnout. If you have good relationships with your co-workers or office mates, it lessens the risk for burnout. According to this study, being in a committed relationship, meaning having relationships with other people, is linked to less production of cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. So this suggests that paired people, when I say here paired people, the context is not basically married individuals. Paired people having a friend or having someone to be with are less responsive to psychological stress. And that the social and emotional support that comes with having a partner can be a great buffer against stress. Next is that it also promotes health and healing. That's why yesterday when we talked about burnout, I mentioned about one of the R's, reach out. Reach out or social support promotes health and healing. According to a study, a lack of social relationships can have a direct impact on a young person's physical well-being by increasing the risk of obesity, inflammation, and high high blood pressure. So there are three health issues that can lead to long-term health problems, and they include heart disease, stroke, and cancer. So these three are basic health issues, especially among employees, but a varied social network can help protect against physical decline. If you have good social networks, it actually protects us from physical decline. So it's good if we have, good relationships, not just in the workplace, but good relationships at home, because it has good effect physically. Next is that it improves overall well-being. Psychological theories consistently recognize the importance of relationship to quality of life and well-being. If we talk about well-being theories, relationship is always part of the factor. On this one, this is it's a little bit blurry. This one is clear. On the rightmost portion is the self-determination theory by Ryan and Deci. According to this psychologist, Ryan and Deci, according to them, well-being, when a person is motivated, then well-being is good. And what constitutes well-being? Well-being is constituted by autonomy, the sense of accountability to your own work, and then number two is relatedness, and number two is competence, number three is relatedness. Competence is knowing that you are able to do your job. And then number three is relatedness. So these three, according to Ryan and Deci, constitutes good motivation that leads to good well-being or happiness. Autonomy, relatedness, and competence. And then another psychologist, Martin Seligman, in his theory of positive psychology and well-being, there are 5 factors for well-being or happiness. And these 5 factors are positive relations, for P, engagement, meaning you are engaged in what you do. If we go back to the lecture yesterday on burnout, it's actually being in the flow, right? I was asking Donna yesterday, why do you have to write things down? And she said, because if I don't, I wouldn't feel engaged. So engagement is actually part of well-being. And then one is relationship, meaning, and accomplishment. So with these famous theories on well-being, we see that relationship is always part of it. It's a factor. So the next question is, what then can organizations do, right? Because yesterday I mentioned that in terms of burnout, there's always institutional and personal factors. Now, in terms of supportive workplace environment, it is also essential that the organization should do something about it. What are organizations doing to foster good relationships in the workplace? What can organizations do? I would like to propose these 3 things. In all our health and safety policies, even well-being policies or mental health policies in the workplace, we should have these 3: promotion, prevention, and protection. Promotion is, what is your organization doing to promote good relationship in the workplace? Do you have things in place? In our case, for example, I have noticed that other organizations have good practices also for promotion. In our case, in our little office, what we do is that we have unrushed Monday morning worship. While we can worship on other times, we make Mondays as unrushed morning worship. Meaning, when we worship, we just don't sit down, sing, read a devotional, pray. No, we don't do that. What we usually do is really to read the Bible and then share things together. Share our thoughts about what we have read or what the Bible passage says. So in this way, we have a little time together of unrushed. When clients come to our office, we would ask them to join our worship. But this every Monday morning, it is a non-negotiable time more for worship. And then I have also noticed that in our administrative office, what they do is before they leave at the end of the day, before they leave, or when one leaves for work, after office work, all of them would gather together in the lobby, sing and pray. Right, Ma'am Donna? That's the thing, right? So, before, for example, we don't leave work altogether, but when there's one person who is to leave from work, from the workplace, they would all gather together from the lobby. They would sing together and pray. I think